was like, okay, is it going live? Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I tell you what, I spent a lot of time today. It was cooler out today, but it was nice. I spent a lot of time today with the puppies outside. It was so fun. It was just, man. I look at their paws, and I will tell you right now, Caesar's going to be a big dog. All right, who we got here? We got Nostradamus is here, JJ, Delbert Jones, Pam in Wonderland, Bobby, DJ's here, Delbert's here, Peter's in the house, Sonia's here, Nail in Ohio, Alex is here. Good to see everybody. Glad to have you guys here. Ah, the father was actually bigger than Hella. He was just still thinner because he was only a year and a half old, so he wasn't completely filled out yet. But yeah, he was like I said, he was bigger than her. So I think these puppies are going to be the boys. I mean, Anubis is going to be a good sized dog herself. She's got some good sized paws on her herself. But the boys are going to be some big dogs, I'm thinking, which is fine. I'm absolutely okay with that. So, but yeah, they're fun. They are fun. All right. So anyway, before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel, and I hope everybody respects that. That be decent to each other in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you can't abide by those very simple, easy rules, then those people in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here. Yes, the male was bigger than Hella. Yep, yep. So I'm hopeful that we'll have some good sized puppies out of this one. I think we will. I think they're going to be good size. They're already growing like weeds. I mean, just doing real well, real well. So I enjoy them. I do. I just they're just so much fun to be around, and they're so full of energy, and it's so funny. When I have them out, right, and I have them running, then usually a couple hours, and then I'll put them away for a little while so that they can kind of chill out, eat and chill out, and stuff like that. And man, they're out. They're like they lay down, they go to sleep, and then I'll go and I'll get them again. And that's what I did tonight. I went out and, like I said, I get them out later in the day and let them run around some more. So they're pretty good. They're good pups. Very smart. So a couple of them are just too smart for their own good, but that's okay. And Anubis, both of her ears are up now. So, and the other ones that they're like one will have one ear up and one still kind of floppy. They'll usually between 3 and 5 months is when their ears will go up and stay up. I can't really remember when Hella's went up, but I remember she had one up and one floppy for a while, and then just one day the other one went bloop, and it was up, and that was it, and stayed up. So, all right, so wasteful spending, and we're going to be talking about that because I think it's important. I think it's important that people realize how much what I think what a lot of people don't even think about. Okay, and this is kind of important to me. Um, yeah, she has both ears up so she can hear everything. Use it against the boys later. Exactly. Um, they've basically gone into USAID and found a lot of wasteful spending and stuff there, and they've cut a lot of that out. And they've showed us where this wasted money was going to programs that most people would be like, no, I don't want my money going for that. Um, I cannot wait for them to really go through everything else. We're going to talk about, and of course, we have one party doing every fear tactic that they possibly can. Oh my God, they're going to go in and they're going to gut Social Security. Let's talk about Social Security for a second, okay? There's been what they said in 2023, $100 billion out of Social Security went out in fraudulent payments. And I want you to think about that number, okay? $100 billion is what they're saying from the information that they're giving us in 1 year, 2023, okay? That went out that was fraudulent spending. So, what did you think of Zelensky Trump Oval Office argument? We'll talk about that, Alex. We'll get into that a little bit. I don't have a problem with that, but here's the one that I can't wait to see. Now they're going to go in there and they're going to find out whatever they're going to find out with that, and hopefully stop the money going out that shouldn't be going out to where it shouldn't go. The one I can't wait for, which has not been audited in over 7 years, is the military spending, right? Because somebody was talking about, $1,000 hammers and yeah, $10,000 toilets and all that. Yeah, I can't wait to see when they audit the military, and that's our biggest amount of money we spend, folks, is on our military. The waste there. So, oh, they're saying there's no proof. Yeah, well, obviously there's an issue, and it'll get found out. And if they are actually, if it's being done correctly and they find all kinds of waste, I think that people are going to be really, really pissed. Yeah, JJ's going, we're just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, I believe so too. I think we're going to find a lot of our taxpayer dollars have been wasted for years and years and years and years and years. And, and I don't know how the other side, the left, can be upset about that. But they're spinning it that way. You know what I mean? And it's like, they're playing their little games that they're going to play. But, I think the American people know what they want and all that type of stuff. And I think that it is awesome that it's finally being done. Should have been done a long time ago. There has to be an accounting. There really does. Okay, there really has to be an accounting. So what do we got? 205 in the chat already. We're already up to 70 thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. I thank you for that. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, the Marine Corps passed their audit. Oh, did they? Okay. But there's a lot of contract stuff goes out. Anyway, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. I'll give you an example of something that happened when I was in the service, okay? I was a 51 Romeo, which was an interior electrician. I was in a combat engineer brigade. I was part of down at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, the 20th Engineer Brigade, okay? So we had carpenters, plumbers. I was my unit was, we were an attachment to the 20th Engineer Brigade. And we had carpenters, plumbers, electricians, all that type of stuff in that unit. We didn't do a whole lot of that stuff. You know why? And this is what I never could understand. This is one of the things that really pissed me off at the time. They did a lot of contract work with civilians, and civilians would come in and do these different jobs. And that's how that went. So we didn't do a whole lot of different things. As far as actually working in the field we were signed up to do. There's a lot of waste, a lot of mismanagement, a lot of poor leadership. I hate to admit that, but I mean, I'm going back to when I was in, guys. I mean, I'm sure I doubt it's different now. Nothing generally changes. It's a mess, and it is a mess. Anybody that's been in the military can tell you it's all about CYA, covering your butt. That's what they care about. They really do. I mean, they want to do the bare minimum to not get in trouble and to just keep doing their time and get their promotions and all that type of stuff. And they don't want anybody to rock the boat. That's the other thing. They don't want you to rock the boat. You're not to question anything. You know, ours is not to wonder why. Ours is just to do and die. Some of you will know what I mean by that. So, Norway refused to fuel an American ship. They had to return to the U.S. I heard that, Sonia, and I kind of talked a little bit about that in my first video today. You know, so if Europe doesn't want us to be there, then let's bring our guys home. Good luck to them. I'm sorry. That's what I think about that. Screw them. We've had their back for so long. All those countries, they're there by our good grace. That's why they're there. They've done minimal spending of their own military, while we've spent so much on ours. And like I've said it how many times, folks? We're the modern day Rome. We are the policemen of the world. So a lot of these other governments don't spend what we spent, or not even close to what we spend on their military, because they know, well, we got the USA's here. We don't have to worry about it. We can just go ahead and do what we want to do. Ask the Norwegian PM how his Russian is. Exactly. Exactly. A lot of games, a lot of grandstanding. So Alex asked me what my thought was with the whole Zelensky and Trump thing at the White House. It's about time that we had leadership that's not going to just give and give and give anymore. That we want something back for what we're doing. Um, I think that I liked what JD Vance and I like what Trump did about that whole situation. Ed, my stepdaughter got called on the carpet for buying a circuit board for $7 a piece instead of renewing a contract for 200 a piece. Wow. Yeah, and exactly. And there's part of the problem right there. Delbert said, Ed, did you hear about the wildfire out near Trenton towards Sultana, North Carolina? I did not, Delbert. I hadn't seen that. I knew that South Carolina was dealing with some fires. I knew that. But yeah, it was like they put him in his place, which is exactly what they needed to do. The free ride is over for Ukraine, and I mean, and I had somebody in the comments was like, because I was $350 billion, right? That's what we put over there, money wise, and somebody was like, oh, it's only 65 billion tops. They go, okay, let's go with that number. I mean, I know that's absolutely not true, but let's just go with that number just for the sake of argument. 65 billion. And where's the accountability for any of it? There's not one bit of accountability for that money. And only, yeah, I love that. Only. It amazes me, and it's 350 billion, which is the number. But there is no accounting for all this money. Where did it all go? Right? Where is it all? Yeah, it's just I get so tired of this. They just take, and we're supposed to, right? We're supposed to just pay and pay and pay. Our tax dollars, where's that going? We have no idea. But yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, you don't pay what they say that you owe, they will fine you and add more. What's your take on Gene Hackman's death? You know what? I don't know enough about that. They're saying that there was no carbon dioxide, so it wasn't carbon monoxide poisoning. You know, so I have no idea. It very possible. So they were saying in the thing, and well, with the dog being dead too, it doesn't make sense. But they said he was found like in a laundry room. She was found in a bathroom. It could have been he died. I mean, and like I said, guys, I don't know. Okay, so I'm speculating here as a nurse. The guy was 95 years old. He died, and maybe she found him and was so upset that she didn't want to be there without him in her life. I don't know. Okay, I mean, I'm just speculating because they said there was a bottle found of pills in the bathroom. So the dog was locked in a closet in the bathroom. Okay, well, if that's the case, then I can understand why the dog died. No food, no water for more than 2 weeks. That makes sense. But that's tough. That's really tough. But you know, yeah, I heard it was like 2 weeks before they even knew that they were, because they hadn't. They said they were dead for at least 9 days upon discovery. Okay, well, I mean that's a long time, and so your animals need food and water, and that makes perfect sense. Then that what would have the dog would have died, not eating or drinking. So, but maybe she took her life then because he was gone. I don't know. I think they're going to investigate it. They're going to find out. His pacemaker stopped on the 17th of January. Okay, January, but they're going through the whole thing right now. February. Okay, I got you. Yeah. So who knows? I mean, honestly, who knows? But why wasn't somebody checking in on them on a regular basis? I knew the door was found open. I knew that, but yeah, you just don't know. I mean, you know, it's an unfortunate thing. He was a great actor. Loved Gene Hackman. I thought he was a fantastic actor. You didn't really hear him spewing off about a lot of political stuff, which I like that in an actor. So, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It does seem odd. Wishika says the whole thing seems very odd. It does seem odd, but things do happen and you don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to speculate and say it was this, that, or the other thing. So last night, WWE did the impossible, turning John Cena into a heel. Oh, I saw that. Who cares? Who cares? Actors should act and singers should sing. Period. Exactly. And whatever. Did. Oh my God, that's funny. Did Hackman know Hillary? Did he have dirt on her? Was he going to spill something? That's too funny. Um, yeah, I mean, it's 95 is a great run. I mean, that's who know what his mental state was, at that point, and who knows what happened. I mean, we'll probably never get the full story on it. So, thoughts on Trump and the Panama Canal? All right, that's we can bring that one up too, which is I've dealt with bodies before that have been in a house for a while. Animals will eat them if they get hungry. Probably not the case. Dogs will not. Dogs will not. Cats will eat. Um, cats will eat their owners. Dogs will not. A dog will sit there and lay next to its master and starve to death. Dogs will not eat their owners. But yeah, a cat. The first thing a cat's going to eat, too, guys, if you want to know, just for fun reference, is your nose. The cat will eat your nose to start out with. Crazy, huh? So all you cat lovers, and I like cats. Don't get me wrong, I love cats, but you know, they did find one dog laying next to the wife. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, dogs will not eat their owners, so they will not. They will protect their owners, even in death. The loyalty of a dog is there is nothing like that. There's nothing like that. So, but anyway, what was I going to tell you? The whole thing with I got off track here with the dog thing. Hold on a second. Let me go back and look at this comment again. Oh, Trump and the Panama Canal. Okay. I agree with Trump 100% on the Panama Canal. You cannot let China be the ones running that Panama. I got it. I got it. You can't let China be the ones to run the Panama Canal. We were the ones that made that happen. Yes, we used a lot of Panamanian labor, but it was our money that built the Panama Canal. Now, did we do it for our own reasons? Of course we did. America doesn't do anything that's not going to benefit America. So, That that being said, you have to realize that you're not going to want to. We are not going to allow. Let me rephrase that. We are not going to allow China to be the ones to control that. We're just not going to. Um, so, I get that. I totally get that, and I understand it. And you know, you have to look at that situation and go, okay, what are we doing here? What's going on? And because, you know, and he went down there and he made a negotiation with Panama, and they agreed to it. And so, China's not going to be running things down there, and that ultimately was his goal. You got to say. I think a lot of people, they look at what he says and they go, "Oh my God, that's grandioso," or that's whatever. What do you think of the Chinese military aggression near Taiwan? That's been going on, Alex, for a long time. That has been going on for a long, long time. So, that's not anything new. China does a lot of grandstanding. Every time we send any of our congressmen or senators or anybody goes over to Taiwan to show support for Taiwan and Taiwanese independence and all that type of stuff. China does their grandstanding. They'll fly planes or they'll have ships go by. If China knows, okay, and even Biden in all of his dementia was able to articulate, even though they had to backpedal on that we'll be there for Taiwan if something happens, and that's just the way it is, and China knows that. So that's the only reason Taiwan is not back in Chinese control right now. The only reason is because of us. Why do you think we have the Navy presence over there that we do, right? Jane D says no notification. Well, I'm sorry that they didn't send you when I put the post up early enough. So thoughts on Mexico sending the U.S. 29 Mexican cartel leaders? I hadn't seen anything about that. I hadn't seen that. I know that I did not see the video of Mel Gibson, no. But, I mean, if you're out there and that's part of where you're at, and he's obviously in California, he has a right to say what he thinks about California. Now, again, being an actor, I think he should stick to acting. What? I see you. Now, don't start with me now. Now you just put your paw on me, and I got a bunch of hair on me. Stop. Down. No, no, no. Behave. But like I said, again, what somebody said earlier, actors should stick to acting, singers should stick to singing. I don't care what their politics are. Just because they say something doesn't mean that I go, oh my God, yes, they're so insightful and they're so smart and they're brilliant, and I should listen to them. You should make your own assessments because these people live in glass bubbles where, I mean, they have, you're taught. You see, what this is what I love when you have politicians who are protected by armed bodyguards, when you have celebrities who are protected by armed bodyguards telling us that we shouldn't have guns, I think is one of the most ludicrous things in the world. So they're in no position to tell the rest of us what we should or what we should not do or what we should or should not have. They they're caught up, a lot of them, in their own greatness. And I get it. When you got people putting you up on this huge pedestal, and they want you to, oh my God, you're so great and you're so important and the whole 9 yards. Some people, that goes to their head. Some people, power goes to their head. And Taiwan was never under Chinese control. I didn't know. I'm not saying that they were. I'm just saying they want. China is claiming that Taiwan is part of China. They want to take control of Taiwan. So that's what I was saying. Yeah, the people fled to Taiwan because they were part of the resistance to the communists in China, and so that's where they set up shop. And we've been backing them for a long time, and because it puts a thorn in China's side, and that's why China wants that island back under their control. So they play a lot of games. We play a lot of games back, so. Oh no, we haven't. No, they've already delayed the whole BRICS thing. If it'll ever even happen, Don. That's that whole thing. The last thing I read about the BRICS situation was it's going to be like delayed for like a couple of years, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, uh, I heard China wanted Taiwan back in the '70s. When I was in Taiwan, I stayed at Chad King Air Base. I don't know how to say that. In the morning, I would watch the Taiwanese soldiers doing maneuvers. Now, yeah, Taiwan could never defeat China. I mean, that's a given. Okay, I mean that's just a given. But yeah, I like that. Yeah, Lamb's Light said, "Where did all the drones go?" Isn't that interesting? And nobody talks about it anymore. Nobody talks about all the drones because we've moved on. We have other things to distract us, and which and I listen, guys. I will tell you right now. I'll be out there doing a live stream or not a live stream, but I'll be doing a video, and ooh, it's shiny. I mean, that's I'm easily distracted, but the media definitely uses distraction constantly. If they don't want something in the news, they're going to change the subject. Or people have short memories; they don't care. You know, they're upset for the moment, and then they move on to the next thing to be upset about. So, but what do we got? 309 in the chat, guys. We're at 131 thumbs up. So again, if you have not yet, I'm going to ask you to really quickly to shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. And I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, again, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time for that. But yeah, I can't wait for our government here with Doge to go in and audit all of these different, like I said, Department of Education, Medicaid, Medicare, to check into military spending. Uh, and I want you to think about this. USAID, okay, is one small entity. They're one small entity out of how many different departments that are out there. So if they've found as much fraudulent activity as they're saying, or wasteful spending as they're saying, and here's the best part. What I love about what they've done is they go, here it is, right here, black and white. This is what they were wasting your money on. And then some liberal judge says, nope, you got to pay the money. Did you see that one? That he was like, nope, you got to pay the money. Well, now it's gone to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, no, they don't have to pay the money until we review it, until we look over everything. So right now, it's stopped. The gold at Fort Knox will or not be a bigger shock. Yeah, it depends. They're like I said, they're checking into everything. So I think that it's interesting, and that'll be another one. Is there gold at Fort Knox? Or is there not? Is it already been all siphoned off? Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? But we look at, and at the end of the day, thoughts on Epstein files being released. Well, they haven't really been released in full. It wasn't anything new. We really didn't get anything new from the Epstein files. They need to reveal all of that. They really do. They have to. People want to know. People have a right to know. People want. Here's the thing. I think that people are mostly upset about more than anything else. Okay, so he's dead. She's in prison. It doesn't stop there, folks. There's a whole bunch of other people that were involved in that, all the way over to the one prince in England. I mean, he was involved. Why aren't these people being charged? Right? You had a bunch of underage girls and probably boys as well, because everybody's flavor is not the same. Um, out there that they were utilizing to do what they wanted to do. So FBI is not cooperating with Bondi, JJ is saying. Well, since she's the head of it right now, I think that that hopefully will change. But it's I'm telling you, those people that were there having sex with these underage girls, they're or boys, okay, they're the ones that need to be charged. Just be so. Let's be clear about something, okay? So we got the flight logs. These different lists of celebrities have been to Epstein's island. Does that mean that they were going there to have sex with children? Not necessarily. Okay, we can't assume that that's what they were going there for. Now, if there are the victims, right? There's two. They're saying 250 different victims that they're trying to protect their identity. Here's an idea, and this is just me. If there's a crime committed, and if I go to a victim and I say, okay, who was the person that had sex with you, right? I'm pretty sure that they could, say it was this person or it was that person or whoever it was, these high profile people. So, I mean, you know, I know Clinton was at the island too. I saw that. Yep. Oh, he was involved with a lot of stuff. So, you know, honestly, I think that and again, I'm giving you my opinion, okay? I'm giving you my opinion. I don't know if it's factual or not. I think if they ever truly released who all was involved in that, governments would topple because people would be so outraged. 100% silver price is being suppressed. It used to be missiles and all sorts of electronics. I I saw that silver's at like 31, $32 an ounce, something like that. So Carolyn says, but are they going to cut Social Security? I don't think so, Carolyn. People can't live on what they get right now from Social Security. That's a scare tactic that's being done by the left. Oh, they're going to do this, and they're going to cut the SNAP benefits, right? We all saw that fear tactic as well. There is nothing that they have said where they have said we're going to cut people's benefits and we're going to cut SNAP. They have not said that. They're going to review where the money is being spent. It's Democratic propaganda. That's all it is. It's fear tactics to scare people, to get people up in arms. I love the protesters that are out there, okay, with the signs, with a big line through it, no Doge and, no uh, uh, Musk, right? I'm like, really? You people are that stupid? They are. They are that stupid. They're being told what to protest. You need to be upset about this. So they go out there with their signs and we're angry, we're upset. He needs to stop. What? Finding fraud and waste? I don't want him to stop. I want him to keep going. Well, you stop. I am busy. And you're fine. You are. Child. I can't wait to have four more sitting in here with me while I'm trying to do a live stream. That'll be fun. Right? Will you be jealous? Yeah, she's jealous now. I know, but you're a good stop. No, no, stop. Down, down, down. But like I said, it's just oh, it's jealous big time. If I'm petting the puppies, she is not happy with it. She does not like it. And you see all this hair on me just from her paw. I have been brushing her every day. I've been brushing her every day. So she's a good girl, but we're in shed mode right now. People can't think for themselves. We are the modern day idiocracy. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, just you know, they're told to what to be upset about, so they're upset. I'm going to tell you what I have a real issue. And where was the outrage? This is the thing that kills me. The perceived. Let me rephrase it. Where is the perceived outrage? Stop. No, stop. Not down. No. Um, the perceived outrage. Where is that when you had a president in office said that if you don't vote for me, then you're not black? Remember that? So you're being told what is wrong with you. You're supposed to vote Democrat no matter what, even though we don't ever do anything for you. Nothing gets better in your cities. Keep voting Democrat. That's what we want, right? That's what they do. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If it's not working, if crime's not going down, if things are not being fixed, then maybe you put somebody in there, hopefully, and it don't matter what party, Republican or Democrat, they can do something about it that actually gives a crap instead of just worrying about lining their own pockets all the time. You know, the politicians who are mad at Doge are most likely the ones who are guilty. Guilty dogs bark first. A lot of times that does seem to be the case. You know, yeah. Where's the outrage for the lost children? Yeah, exactly. The human trafficking, the rapes. They were saying what, like 30+% of the women that were being brought across the border had been sexually assaulted. Where's the outrage for that? You know, I just, I don't know. MSN tells you what to think. It's like waterboarding. Well, you know what it is? It's like people watch whatever they watch, and they automatically believe that it's right, no matter what they're being told. It's just like the whole Russia collusion thing, and these morons are still out there going, oh, see, because Trump is in his pocket. People they're idiots. They're really, really idiots. After it was proven that whole thing was a hoax, and Hillary Clinton was the one that had said, if you say a lie enough, it will become the truth. Because whatever you put out there, if you keep repeating the same old mantra, people are going to believe it. End of story. They're just going to believe it. Thoughts on 1 million government employees not sharing what they did last week? They're, again, if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, if there's an accounting and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, they should be let go. That should, I mean, if you don't tell your bosses what you're doing when they ask you, you think they're going to keep you around? I mean, think about it. It's just, the insanity is beyond even belief, that they're getting away with this type of stuff, you know. And I want a full accounting of everything. It's our money, folks. It's our money they're spending. We should know where it goes. It should be, and all this borrowing, and I've said this before. Okay, I've said this before. If you have, we basically, I mean, let's be honest with you. We are right now still the number one power in the world. Okay, we're the number one power in the world. So are we really $37 trillion in debt, or whatever the number is right at the moment? Are we really there? Or is it all an illusion in a Ponzi scheme? Or is it a game? Because the Fed could say, okay, we owe China XYZ amount of money, right? So if we print off that money and send it to them and go, here you go, now we're debt free, right? Now we don't have to borrow. We can use the money that we collect however, but they will never do that because they want you all of you to be, oh my God, we're in so much trouble. We're in all this debt. It's just, it's a scheme. It's a scam. I'm just giving you my opinion. Because they could print up the money and send it over. Would that devalue the dollar? Of course it would. But they print money and they give it away like candy anyway. And here's the other part I have a problem with. If we owe all this money to all these different people, how are we even in a position to give billions of dollars to anybody? How are we in that position? Warren Buffett said, tell Congress to balance the budget or they don't get paid. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, exactly. And they could, but they won't ever, because they'll never work together. The two-party system is never going to continue to work because they play against each other, and all at the end of the day they're doing is playing the suckers, and that's us. Because both sides are enriching themselves. So whoever's in power at that particular time, they're helping out their rich friends, first of all. They're all getting even more rich than they already are, right? I mean, we see it, folks. It happens over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And it's just, it is amazing to me. Again, I'm going to go back to something else. Where's the outrage? Where is the outrage in this country? Right? We're upset about this and we're upset about that. Where's the outrage for all the businesses that had to close because of a perceived pandemic, right? Where's the outrage for all those people that lost their businesses, that'll never get their businesses back, you know? And but Walmart didn't have to close. All the big grocery stores didn't have to close. They never closed the liquor stores. They never closed the weed stores. Stop. They never closed any of those, right? Those all stayed open, but every small mom and pop business went under. And where, if you go look at the numbers, go look at the numbers of what Walmart made during that time. Record profits, record profits. But that's okay, right? You were told you had to wear a mask because it was going to protect you and save you. So I saw idiots walking around, with a bandana on. Oh, that's going to save you. Or they had the mask on that, which everybody that had a half a brain in their head, will you stop down? Um, Anybody that had a half a brain in their head knows those particles were so small that those masks were absolutely doing nothing to protect people. I can actually say that now because they've actually come out and said that that was the case. But if I said that a year and a half or 2 years ago, they're not giving as good of protection because those masks are only going to be good for so long. And I'm not trying to give medical misinformation. That's not absolutely not what I'm trying to do. The reality is, like an N95 mask offers a lot more protection than just a paper mask or wearing a bandana, And then heaven forbid, if you have a beard on, right, you're not going to get a proper seal with any mask, any mask. And half these people walking around and they pulled the mask down so that it was like their nose was out. I mean, it was ludicrous. And if people bought it hook, line, and sinker and did what they were told, But politician Pelosi was getting her hair cut inside, where everybody else out there was having to get their hair cut outside. Do you want to go outside? Is that why you're being a pain, or are you just being a pain to be a pain? She's right here, looking at me. So, yeah, you look at all these kids home for almost 2 years, learning remotely. My daughter at the time was in college. Her second year of college, she was remote learning. So they were in their, apartment that they were, renting from the school. They were in that apartment that they were renting from the school, but they had to stay in their rooms and they weren't able to go, and the whole night it was. And she even told me, she goes, Dad, I learned nothing the second year. I learned absolutely nothing. So it's insanity. So what are we at, guys? We're at 302 in the chat. We got 170 thumbs up right now. My oldest had to do nursing school through it. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine the nonsense of it all. So people are starting to wear masks again here in Oregon. Bird flu. Oh, good luck to them. I see it down here too. I see people wearing masks. I don't even say anything anymore because it's not worth the waste of energy. You want to be a moron and think that that's going to protect you? Go right ahead and do it. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel. If you're that stupid, go ahead. But anyway, guys, again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. It really does make a big difference with the algorithms. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. When you, as a nurse, if we had a room that we had to go into where somebody was infectious with whatever, you would have to be full gown, gloves, hat, mask, goggles, the whole 9 yards, okay? And that's how you dealt with that. People were not fully protected. They were not fully protected. Oh, and the little circle 6 feet apart. Yeah, I remember all that too. Yeah. So, I never wore a mask during that time. As a nurse, okay, you're going to know what's effective and what's not. Keep wearing your same mask day after day after day after day. Yeah, good luck with that one. It just, Thoughts on Social Security in the next 10 to 20 years? It better still be there. We've paid enough money into it that unless they've raided that completely and taken all that money, then that would not be good. I was asked what percentage did not get it, and it said about 19%. I think it was actually like 30% of the people didn't get it. I don't know the full true number. We're never going to know what the true numbers were. Like I said, I never did, never was going to. Lost a job opportunity because I wouldn't, and that's okay. You know, why did you quit nursing? Because I had enough of it. I didn't want to do it anymore. I burned out, just had enough. 30 years in nursing, folks, trust me. I mean, I have seen so much. Um, Tired of piss poor management. Management's the worst in nursing, and I'm sure it's like that everywhere. When you have corporations, and you're we live in a society now of a bunch of wimps. Everybody's offended by everything, and they have to they kiss these people's behinds and telling them, instead of telling them shut up and get on with it. Everybody's offended, and they're trying to pacify the small percentage of people that are offended by everything. It's just too much nonsense. Too many people being in charge that had no idea what was going on the floors. Continuing to make more and more demands, and it's insanity, insanity. So, like I said, and I just had enough. Just didn't want to do it anymore. So, yeah, I gave up my license. It doesn't mean I stopped being a nurse. It doesn't mean that I don't have those skills anymore. I've had them, and they're never going to go away. It's just that I will never work in a nursing home or a hospital again. I could probably still do private duty because I'd be working for myself, uh, but that would be totally different. But no, I wouldn't. I'll tell you right now, I would not recommend anybody. You know, I would not recommend anybody to go into it. It's such a thankless job, folks. I mean, I've had some great experiences. I've taken care of some wonderful people through the years, and I have good memories from all of that. Okay, but dealing with the stupidity of management, and those type of things, no, no, no more. Yeah, it's the administration that makes nursing suck. Yep. Well, I'll tell you a quick. I think I've told this story before. I'll mention. Well, look, before we do that, let's go ahead. Let's do the egg count. Let's do that real quick. But before we do the egg count again, we got 317. We're at 187 thumbs up. Let's get it up over 200. So we're like 13 away from 200 thumbs up. So if you haven't done so yet, please do so. And I do appreciate that. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that. Don't put your guesses in yet. I'm not counting any guesses yet. Don't put your guesses in yet. I didn't say go. So don't do it yet. I'll tell you when. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up, please do so. Show support for the channel, and I thank you for that. Again, also, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications. Okay, now go ahead and put your guesses in. How many eggs today? In yes or no for Miss Betty White. So we'll go from there. Give you guys a moment to get your guesses in, and we will go from there. No, it's like I tried to explain to certain people when the whole thing was going on, and I said, why do you think, why do you think so many nurses wouldn't do it? So many doctors wouldn't do it, right? Why so many wouldn't do it? Well, we're all just a bunch of anti-vaxxers. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. So, yeah, DJ, did he not put a guess in? Maybe he's not in. Well, he missed it then. Anyway, if you had the same exact guess as Dale from Ohio with 3 eggs today, and yes for he did guess? Okay. Um 3 eggs today, and yes for Miss Betty White. Dale from Ohio was the first one with the correct guess, and a bunch of you right after that had the same guess, but he got there first. And so, congratulations to Dale in Ohio. You've won absolutely nothing, and you are happy about it. So, there you go. Whoopee! That's funny. Now, like I said, it's craziness, the whole thing that people were subjected to, that people lost their jobs because they wouldn't comply, in the whole 9 yards. I mean, it was just, the whole thing was insanity. The whole thing was insanity. And I don't, like I said, again, I said to people before, I mean, and I'm 100% correct in this one. People always said, God, I don't understand how the people of Nazi Germany allowed to happen what happened. Well, now you all know, because a lot of people, most of the people, I know it was at least 70% of the people complied and did what they were told. And they vilified the other 30%. Remember what all those idiots in Hollywood said at the time, right? Well, if you're on a transplant list and you're waiting for a transplant, if you haven't got this, then oh well, too bad for you. I mean, it's just, where's the compassion? Where's the compassion for people, right? There wasn't. There was so anybody that wouldn't comply, and well, why won't you? You're doing it for this, you're doing it for that. Um, and you were vilified. You were absolutely vilified. So it just and the biggest thing for me, folks, with that, right? They were doing. You had to have proof to go into a concert, to go do this, to go do that. You had to have your proof, right? Remember? Well, where's your card? Let me see your card. Make sure you got your stuff and all that type of stuff. Where's your papers, right? They're still doing that to transplant patients. Oh, really? I did not know that. Well, that's insane. So I didn't know that, Don. But here's the thing that kills me more than anything else with that whole thing. Okay, with that whole thing. This day you had to have all your papers, or you couldn't do this, that, or the other thing. The next day, everything was fine again. You could go anywhere you wanted to. You didn't have to prove anything. Just like that. Just like that. I remember that, folks. Okay, I remember that. So it's just like 1 minute you had to have it, and then everything. Oh no, we don't need it anymore. Insanity. It's insanity. And no one is watching the Oscars anymore. Well, a lot of those award shows people aren't watching anymore. They're not watching any of it. So, but yeah, it's just like I said, the whole thing. It was, I don't know. It's a sad situation. People were taken advantage of. I'm just giving you my opinion. Okay, and people bought in hook, line, and sinker. I hope this video doesn't get flagged on me. I guess we'll find out, right? But like I said, it's and again, because they come up with, this is it, this is the truth, and that's it, and you're not supposed to question anything. That's crazy. So, oh yeah, yeah, the whole thing, you have to have one on to walk in and to the restaurant, sit down, and then they had the barriers between the booths. Remember that? Like that really helped. And the plastic. Oh my God, that was my favorite, folks. Absolute favorite. You walk into Walmart, you've handled all your food, you put it up on the gurney, it goes down, the cashier rings it up, touching all your stuff, puts it in bags, and she's got this plastic thing in front of you. Then you hand her the money, and then she takes your money with her hands and she gives you the change. And that was the big protection. Banks, all that. They had all the little plastic barriers. Such nonsense. Such nonsense. So, but it's just, and like I said, you know what? I don't. If you wanted to get it, you get it. If you felt like you had to get it to keep your job, I understand that. So I'm not sitting here like on my high horse judging anybody for their circumstances. I'm not, okay? If you did it, you did it. If you didn't, you didn't. I don't care one way or the other. I really don't. I just had my reasons why I wouldn't do it, okay? And that was it. And a lot of people felt that way, but then they were pressured. And so there you go, you know. But it's just the way the whole thing was handled was wrong, in my opinion. You know, and banks still have the barriers. I haven't seen it down here. I have not seen that down here. And you're supposed to wipe all your grocery purchases when you got home. Yeah, yeah. So the craziness, and people did what they were told. And that's, like I said again. You want to see what happened in Nazi Germany? Watch what happened with that, and you will find exactly why. They followed the line. They did what they were told. They had a common enemy, right? The common enemy were the unvaxxed, those selfish people, you know, craziness, just craziness. I advised my family not to do it. Um, wasn't enough research. That was my one of my biggest concerns with the whole thing. There was not enough research on it for and this is, and I will tell you truthfully, there was no long-term study, right? Which everybody knows there was no long-term study. So I've told people, if you got this, you were the long-term study. That's what you are. Oh, my favorite was to walk in the one-way aisles at the grocery store. Yeah, I never did that either. I would purposely walk the wrong way down those, where they had the little arrows that you were supposed to follow a certain way. Yeah, okay. Like I said, I can remember, and true story, in Walmart, I was the only one not having a mask on, and then I saw another lady that didn't have a mask on, and I walked up to her, and we had a great conversation because we were the only two people in that entire store in Walmart that did not have a mask on, and we just gravitated to each other, started talking, and like, oh, so you're not brainwashed either, huh? Nope, I am not. So that was neat. That was neat. But most of the time, I was the only one. And I had people say, well, I just do it because I don't want to make waves. I will always make waves. That's just who I stop. Stop. I love you, but stop. I'll take you out in a minute. Um, you know, I will always make waves. If I think something's not right, I'm always going to make waves. So, but and I'm not a conformist anyway. It's not who I am. And what an amazing thing. I'm still here. I'm still here. Crazy, isn't it? Uh, in Japan, locals wear masks in public out of respect. Out of respect for what? For what? But oh, you went in with one and removed it. See, the thing is, what I would just like, and here's the thing: is you can say, you know, and here's they can't. HIPAA laws are supposed to protect you, and that was the other issue I had with the whole thing, having to prove that you did something. Okay, so if I walked into Walmart and if they tried to give me a hard time, I said I have a medical you know problem where I can't wear one, and I use that, and my daughter would say to me after we would get into the store, because she at the time would she was wearing one because she had been, well, you stop, get down, enough. Um, she was in college, and she was like, medical reasons. What's that? She, once we got away, she goes, "What's that, Dad?" I go, "I like to breathe." Stop! I said, "Stop it now. Enough. Give me just a minute." But I don't know. People that are hard of hearing cannot understand people with a mask on. I should know. It is true. So, there you go. But and we had a guy from work flew to Mexico with a mask on, and on the way back he didn't need one. Isn't that crazy? Exactly, crazy. Did I ever end up with COVID? Well, I had the flu. I did get the flu second year. There's another one, RC Kev. Thank you very much, first of all, for the donation, and thank you for the question. Isn't it amazing how there was no more flu and everybody had COVID? Even now, people say, "Oh, what do you got, the flu?" No, I have COVID. Everything is COVID. Isn't that crazy? Interesting. I find it interesting. Like I said, I always have a lot of questions. I find a lot of things interesting. Um, but yeah, I had the flu during that whole time. And it was weird what I did, RC Kev. I stayed home until I felt better, and then I went back to work. Craziness how that goes. But do you think there will be peace in Ukraine? Eventually. Eventually there will be. Yeah, eventually. So anyway, guys, I am going to jump off of here for now. Remember, truly remember, though, we really are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we're going to be in much better shape. And the important thing to remember too is STD, step, thing, and day. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one stopping you from achieving that goal is going to be you. So it's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. And follow that mantra, and you're going to be fine. For me, the flu is worse than COVID. RC Gav. Well, like I said, I never went and took any test to see what I had. I knew I had a flu, which is a virus, which is the same thing as COVID, is a virus. So I just stayed home, got better, avoided people, and that's it. I've never been tested for it. Never will be tested for it. So there we go. So anyway, be safe, everybody. Keep prepping. Take care of your business, and you guys will be just fine. Have a great day. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.